Hello, love. Welcome, Dane Celestine, love. Let me guess, nobody got any notifications. That's all right. It appears that way. So how are you? Well, that's good you got one. Apparently people don't get them. I don't know. They bitch and moan about not, and I have no control over that, you know. I should say this. Instead, here's what I should do. I should put a message and be like, I got my fake my new fake prosthetic arm in, and I'll sign it for you. All you have to do is donate to my channel. All right. Hey, welcome, White Rabbit. That's right. No mercy. No mercy. We're going to call this No Mercy Saturday, love. No Mercy Saturday. That's right. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy. So how's everybody? How are you guys doing? It's a beautiful weekend now. Little cold. Queen of the stars, that's right. Thank you, love. Well, I guess that's why you're Dame of the Garden Round. Same with White Rabbit. You know, I gotta do things in measures here, measures. Well, let me play this for you, and then maybe we'll talk about, we'll talk about whatever you want at this point. Okay, all right. Some Jen lady. Who Jen lady got doxxed for talking about the four? Interesting. Who's that? That's interesting. Jen. Who's Jen? I don't know who Jen is. I don't follow many people, you know. She got doxxed. Who doxxed her? We have to find him and wipe him out. Oh, thank you. Then they'll dox me. No. You ain't gonna dox me. You dox me, I'm gonna find you. You don't want me to do that. Trust me. Because I don't care. I think one of the problems with this case is people get so hung up on irrelevant details. You know what I mean? And then they just follow channels who like to I don't know, exploit those irrelevant details like constantly. But that's just my opinion. Drama, right? It's drama. Again, you're not going to prove this But it's drama. It's interesting. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. We've been there, right? We've been there. We've been there. Oh no, Dame. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about any of that. I'm more worried about people ripping my shit off. I'm more worried about that. But or, I mean, at least not give me any credit. Anyway, and then hey, another thing is, I think there's a burnout. There's a burnout with this case. I mean, you gotta be realistic. There is a burnout with this case, of course. You gotta be realistic. Yeah. So. And then we got people trying to tie in the Nancy Guthrie case to this in some weird fashion. Come on. I mean, good grief. I don't know. I don't know what to say. All right. I mean, what's compelling right now is that Washington State lawsuit. That's compelling. That's compelling because it's new, right? So that's compelling. Like to see what's going to happen with that. I'm glad Washington State is pushing back against that. That's a good thing, right? We know that. That's a great thing. So that's compelling and that's new. As they should push back. Yeah. Well, in the documents, yeah. All right. How's we're gonna quick break, right? Quick break, and then we'll move on to stuff. We'll move on. I always go back to Dylan Mortensen. It's probably my Achilles heel here, but I always go back to her because again, she is front and center. She is the one. So, well, Gabriel is too, but we don't have any more information about him because, well, we know Moscow police never followed up with him. So I'm 100% certain that Moscow police never, ever, ever, ever cleared him as a suspect. I'm pretty certain of that. Yeah. So, I don't know. Anyway, quick break. Oh, yeah, that's a great card. Absolutely. Enjoying the gossip. Of course, the Joker's right there. He always got the Joker on the bicycle. Oh, yeah, Joker on a bicycle. Yes, indeed. Queen of Spades and the 4. Absolutely. All right, quick break. Yeah, I really would love an interview with Gabriel M. That interview would be absolutely fantastic if it was, well, number one, if it was done by a proper police force, and number two, they actually did it, which they never did, as far as I know. Anyway, quick break. I swear, quick break, and then we get on. And man, I'm actually rational today. Can you believe it? All right. I know. I have to change up some things. I have to change up some of my technology that I'm using. I know. Anyway, quick break. But Master Nature, you must get out of the Stone Age. You must get out of the Stone Age. Master Nature. All right. All right. Yeah. I was really thinking about just putting lives on pause for a while, you know? Just putting lives on pause for a while. But I decided to do one. Let's go. But here's my, well, let me show you. Let me show you. Ballrooms of Mars. Oh, what are we doing? I don't know. Let's finish up. Let's finish this Washington State commentary. We started this before. This is Washington State Law and Crime, Antoinette Levy. Let's finish this.
Blocks of the claims, or more than one.
Well, would you like to bake that potato in your oven? Anyway,
law, the court can't decide what the facts are if one party doesn't have the ability to present some facts on a particular part of the claim. The claim can be thrown out of court. So that's going to be the big hurdle for these folks. And they have their work cut out for them.
You and I were talking about this offline, and we talked about how the optics of this are just awful. You know, really terrible. I mean, like, you had this guy creeping women out all over your criminology department. You have a professor saying,
"Oh God, come on.
You know, this guy's going to be a predator. I work with predators. I'm telling you, he's going to be a predator."
Yeah, again, this is a knitting circle that was created at Washington State University. That's what this was. People don't like to hear that, but that's what that was. It was a knitting circle. So a bunch of females who felt, quote unquote, creeped out by Bryan Kohberger, they went to a lesbian professor, okay, and just bitched to her about it. And that's where those comments came from. Well, he's a predator, and we can't give him a PhD degree because he's going to be a predator. Look, this is his first fucking year there. It's his first semester. It's not like this guy's been there for a year and a half. He's ready to graduate with his doctorate degree. It's his first semester. The comments are dumb. They're ludicrous. They don't make any sense. Okay? It's not like this guy's been in the program forever, right? He's not ready to graduate. He just got there. So when I hear dumb comments from professors like, well, we can't give him a PhD degree because he's going to be a predator. He's not even close. He just started the program. See, yeah. So anyway, this lawsuit, I can bitch about that all fucking day, but that lawsuit is important because it's going to expose what I hope it's going to do here. It's going to expose this knitting circle that these lesbian, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but most of the females that felt uncomfortable with Kohberger, they were lesbians, okay, or they were he-she's, I should say. And so they banded together and they got a lesbian / he-she professor on their side, okay? But here's the big problem, Anjanette Levy, in your ridiculous assessment. The problem is his behaviors never reached a level of criminality. That's the ticket, right? That's the key. Whatever these lesbians / he-she's were feeling, it never reached a level of criminality, okay? It's not like any of these women / he-she's / lesbians, they never went to any police department and filed a formal complaint against Bryan Kohberger. Nobody ever did that. Okay, so you can bitch and moan all you want about him, and you can say how much of a jerk he is and a dick he is. Fine. But his behavior apparently never reached a level of criminality, though. Nobody ever went to a police department in Washington to file some sort of complaint or charge against him. Harassment, stalking. Nobody ever bothered to file protective order against him. Do you understand? People, they want to gravitate towards these goddamn, this is what I call the knitting circle rumor mill. And that's exactly what happened here. They created a knitting circle and they fed upon their own insecurities. Okay? But Bryan Kohberger's behaviors, whatever they were, never reached a level of criminality. And that's why Bryan Kohberger was never arrested at Washington State. He was never arrested for harassment. He was never arrested for stalking behaviors. He was never arrested. Okay? That is a huge problem to me. And now you have this massive lawsuit, right? Brought by the greedy fucking Idaho families. But they're missing one major important factor here. Nobody at Washington State University felt that their lives were in danger in any fashion enough where they had to go to a police department and file any type of criminal complaint against him. And that's where it's ultimately going to fall apart. Now, if one of these he-she's went to a police department, Washington, Pullman, whatever, if one of the he-she's went to Washington, Pullman Police Department and tried to make a complaint, a criminal complaint against him, that may be a different story. But that never happened. It never happened. Again, so what are we left with? We're left with a knitting circle. A bunch of he-she / lesbians who felt uncomfortable by a straight white male who didn't want to hear their bullshit. That's exactly what happened. And if, hey, you say I'm wrong. Okay, I'm not wrong. Why? Because nobody filed any criminal complaints against Bryan Kohberger at Washington State University. And therefore, you're fucked. Your argument, I just destroyed your argument because we are the greatest of all time. So, there you go. There you go. It's as simple as that. It really is. If these he-she's felt so uncomfortable with him, including that lesbian professor, nobody decided to go to any type of legal authority, Pullman, right? Nobody decided to go to any type of legal authority to make a criminal complaint about Brian Kohlberger. Nobody did that. Therefore, Brian Kohlberger's behavior, whatever you want to call it, did not reach a level of criminality. Goodbye. See you later. It was nice talking to you. But hey, right? If you want a real analysis of this, that's the analysis. Now you can listen to fucking idiots all day on their YouTube channels. But the problem is this lawsuit is going to fail for many different reasons. But the biggest reason why it's going to fail is nobody at Washington State University felt threatened enough where they felt they had to go to some sort of legal authority. Nobody did that. So, therefore, his behavior must not have been that terrible. Right? What this is, it was a knitting circle created at Washington State by first-year graduate students. They were lesbians. They're he-she's, okay? And they got a lesbian professor on their side, and it was an echo chamber. They created an echo chamber amongst themselves, okay? It's called a knitting circle. And they all that's what they did. They spent their time bitching about him and saying how creepy he is, but they never, apparently, they didn't felt it wasn't that threatening, or they would have went to the police department and said, hey, this guy is a stalker, or hey, this guy's a sexual harasser. Nobody filed any criminal complaints against Brian Kohlberger. Again, that's another reason why this lawsuit is going to fail. Are you with me now, my guard? And you're with me now, right? That makes sense, doesn't it? Right? That makes sense, doesn't it? No restraining orders. Hey, if he was that fucking creepy, okay, and if he was a stalker and he was harassing all these fucking women, nobody bothered to file any type of restraining order against him? Nobody. He must have not been that scary. No restraining orders. So when you have this massive lawsuit, how are you going to defend against that? Because Washington State, they have powerful lawyers, believe me. And so the question they're going to ask is, well, gee, if Brian Kohlberger was such a scary individual, how comes none of you went to the police department to file a restraining order against him? And they're not going to have a fucking good reason for it. Because nobody did. There goes your lawsuit. Hey, Steve Goncalves, you fucking rat. Now that we call him the mutt for a reason. He's a mutt. But I think the real perpetrator behind this lawsuit, the Washington State lawsuit, is Stacy Chapin. She is the driving force behind this lawsuit, in my opinion. Absolutely. Now, Steve the Mutt, he is just the face, right? He's always been the face of the four. Steve Goncalves, he's always been the face of the four families. Okay? But Stacy Chapin, in my opinion, is the engine running this show behind the scenes here. Absolutely, she is. Yeah. Yeah. And as far as I know, Brian Kohlberger never got thrown out of any clubs. Yeah. Cole Bainbridge. Cole Bainbridge was the schmuck who got thrown out of the corner club because he was grabbing women. He was spitting on women. He got so drunk, they actually went to another bar, and he couldn't, apparently, according to a police statement, he couldn't remember even going to the other bar. That's Cole Bainbridge. He was hanging out with Maddie Mogan there at the corner club. Yeah. So I can't wait until this lawsuit is absolutely tossed out. It's going to make the four families look like the greedy, fucking corrupt people that they really are. But we all know this. Steve G, remember, Steve G is the face of the families. So he is the face of the families. He's always been the face of the families ever since the murders happened. Him and his goddamn wife, they were the first people out there in the media giving interviews with everybody, and they never stopped. They never stopped giving interviews to the media. Never. Steve, the Mutt, has always been the face of the case in terms of the families, right? So, but he is not the driving force behind this. That would be Stacy Chapin and the Chapins. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. If there is a trial, absolutely, we're going to see the trial. If the civil trial proceeds, yes, we should be able to see it. But I highly doubt it's going to go that far. I highly doubt it. And just like this baked potatoes talking about, the baked potato here is making a lot of good points. You know, he is. Anjanette Levy doesn't want to hear it, of course, because she's mainstream media. So Anjanette Levy, I'm surprised she even had this guy on her channel. But yeah, Anjanette Levy, you know, she already is. She was always biased. You know, of course, she's Anjanette Levy. So. No. Yeah. Glad you three are here. Okay. This is actually not a bad live, is it? We're actually talking about real things and substance of this case, right? I'm not talking about my prosthetic fucking arm or leg that I just got in the mail today, am I? No, we're actually talking about the case. Right. Yeah. The Chapins are not poor. The Chapins are actually pretty wealthy as far as I know. They have at least 2 homes. They have a summer home and they have a regular home. In the summer home, they keep Ethan Chapin down in the basement in his urn. That's where they keep Ethan Chapin. His ashes, they keep it in an urn down in their basement in their summer home, by the way. That's where they keep him. Yeah. And that's true. I'm not making any of this up, guys. But that's where they keep him. Yeah. Well, that's in their interviews. They said this. These are in their interviews that they've given. That's where they keep Ethan Chapin. They keep him in an urn in their summer home down in their basement. And whenever they visit their summer home, which is probably twice a year, they say hello to him in the basement. Yeah, that's the Chapins. That's Stacy Chapin. Okay. So. Yeah. They've given multiple interviews, and that's where they keep Ethan. They keep him in the basement of their summer home in an urn, and whenever they go there, that's when they say hello to him. Yeah, they said that. Yeah. Aren't the Chapins nice corn people? They're really nice corn people, aren't they? Yeah. These are the kind of, these are the families we're talking about here. And it's no surprise that that they want to try to make hundreds of millions of dollars off this. It's not a shock at all, because these are the kind of people that they are. They have absolutely no fucking empathy for anything except money. They have no empathy for anything, even losing losing their son to a brutal murder. They don't give a shit. Stacey does not give a shit at all. I'm telling you right now, Stacey Chapin is another sociopath. She really is. Every time I watch Stacey Chapin in interviews, Stacey Chapin is a fucking sociopath. She is. She is completely disconnected from the actual events of what happened to her son. She is so disconnected. It's disturbing. It's really disturbing watching her. She's another sociopath here in this case. A lot of sociopaths in these families here. A lot. Yeah. She is. In my opinion, she's a sociopath as well. Absolutely. In her sociopathic mind, okay, the reason why she wrote this children's book about Ethan, it wasn't because she was heartbroken. It wasn't because she was grieving. It was because she sensed an opportunity to make money, okay? And Stacey Chapin, one of her biggest fears was that somebody else was going to capitalize on the story. And she even says this in some of her interviews. She was so afraid that somebody was going to capitalize on the story that she decided to write a children's book about Ethan so nobody else could do it first. See, she didn't want to lose that money potential. That's why Stacey Chapin wrote that children's book. It wasn't because she was grieving Ethan Chapin, her son. It was because she was afraid somebody else was going to get there first. Yeah, that's how sick she is. Stacey Chapin is a sociopath. She's a sick, sick woman. Very sick. Just like Dylan Mortensen is sick. Good point, Dame Celestine. That's what it should have been called. It should have been called the book. It should have been called The Story of the Boy I Never Knew. Good point. That's what she should have named it, actually. Or The Son That I really didn't give a shit about. Because I got two other kids that I like a lot more than him. He was just a pain in my ass. Yeah. That's Stacey Chapin, I swear to God. Why do I say that? Because in one of her interviews, she bitches about somebody else trying to write a story about Ethan. And she got mad about that, and she didn't want anybody else writing a story about him because she was going to lose money. And she didn't want that to happen, and that's why she wrote that children's book. And that's why she went to CrimeCon to try to promote the book. That's why she did it. And I'll go a step further, okay? You all know this. Stacey Chapin didn't want anything to do with the actual proceedings of the trial or any of the hearings that were going on. She didn't want anything to do with it. She did not show up for any of the criminal hearings, for any of that. She never was present in the courtroom. She wasn't at the sentencing hearing. She was not at the victim impact when they were making the statements. She was not there. That tells you everything you need to know about Stacey Chapin. She is a sociopath. And not only is she a sociopath, but she's a greedy fucking sociopath. She is absolutely greedy. Why do I only have 2 fucking people here? I am giving you probably one of the best analysis of the families here, but apparently people are more interested in people getting prosthetic legs and arms and donating to their fucking PayPal channel. That's what I'm going to do from now on, my garden. I'm going to pretend that I lost my leg in a motorcycle accident, and I'm going to make you fucking donate I'm going to plead to you to donate to my PayPal channel, my PayPal fund. People, see, that's what I'm saying. These people that I'm talking about, they're not interested in they're not interested in the case here. They're interested in drama. They're interested in little stupid fucking boo-hoo stories. They do not care about the case. No. You know what's really sad, Dame Celestine and White Rabbit, and you know this, you guys know this. Nobody at that hearing, nobody said one fucking word for Ethan Chapin. Not one person said anything about Ethan Chapin. Not one person, as far as I know. I have to go back and watch that. But I don't think there was anybody representing Ethan Chapin at the fucking victim impact hearing. Not one. I don't think anybody from his family showed up. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. It's been a while since I watched it, okay? But I don't think anybody spoke on Ethan Chapin's behalf. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, just tell me. I could be wrong. I could be all. I'm serious. I could be wrong about that. I don't think I'm wrong about that. Imagine that, though. Imagine that. If I'm not wrong, imagine that. You can write a fucking children's book about your son, but nobody from your family goes to the fucking hearing to say one word about your son against Brian Kohlberger. That is, not only is that utterly sad and disgusting, I mean, that is really, really fucking, I'm sorry, that is really disgusting to me. And that is very sad to me. No, I don't think anybody spoke on Ethan Chapin's behalf at that fucking hearing. I don't think so. I'll have to go back and watch it again. It's been a while. But, yeah. Do you know how fucking sad that is? I mean, oh my God. That's what I'm saying. These families. I think most of the people in these families who are perpetrating this, I think they're fucking sociopaths. I really do. I don't think they care at all. I don't think they have any empathy whatsoever. And again, one of the main themes of this case? Everybody forgets the context of what happened. The context is always going to be important. That is utterly disgusting to me that nobody said 2 words about Ethan Chapin at the victim impact statement hearing when they're given their impact statements. I have to go back. I could be wrong. Yeah. Stacy Chapin wasn't there. His own fucking mother wasn't there to say 2 words about him. That's all you need to know about Stacy Chapin. She couldn't even bring her fucking ass to the hearing to say 2 words about her son. Her son! How disgusting is that? If that doesn't take the fucking cake of disgustingness, I don't know what does. I don't know. His brother wasn't there. Maisie wasn't there. His fucking sister, I don't think, was even there either. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I have to go back and watch the victim impact hearing again. But I don't think so. I know for a fact that Stacy Chapin wasn't there. I know for a fact that she wasn't there. Absolutely. And I know for a fact that her husband, Jim, wasn't there. You imagine that. Your fucking son, right, was stabbed in the fucking neck, okay, to the point where blood was running out of the goddamn house, okay, that's how much blood he lost. Not one of these fucking sociopaths, Stacy Chapin, couldn't even show up at the she couldn't show up at the hearing. That's how disgusting these Idaho fucking inbred sociopaths. They are absolutely fucking scumbags to me. Scum. 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 And now they want $400 million. They're scumbags. Yeah, that's how much it makes me fucking angry. Bullshit, man. I'll fucking tell you what. That is fucking disgusting. It is disgusting when your very own mother cannot show up at a victim impact hearing to give statements against the alleged murderer of your son. You can't even bother to show up and say 2 fucking words about it. Disgusting. I want to wring her fucking neck. Fucking disgusting inbred Idaho fucking corn woman. Sociopath. Greedy as fuck. That's what she is. Unbelievable. That blows my fucking mind. Disgusting. Yeah. Hey, that's the way it is. But we want to talk about Grub Truck. We want to talk about Joe Vito. We want to talk about the guy in the fucking sweater. These things are irrelevant. You have to look at the families. They don't give a shit at all. All they want to do is make money. And that tells you everything you need to know about this case. So anyway, let's move on to something else. All right? We're moving on. All right? I have to clean the spit off my phone. Sorry. Are we still here, love? Are we still here? I guess we're still rolling. Are we rolling, Jimmy? Are we rolling, Jimmy? Are we rolling, Jimmy? I would love an hour interview with Stacy Chapin. I would absolutely love to interview her for an hour and just fucking destroy her. I would love to do that. Stacy, you know, your son was brutally murdered. How comes you didn't feel like saying 2 words about him at any of the hearings? Gee, what was your thought process behind that? Yeah, Stacy? That would be my first question. Okay. Sure. Well, okay. Yeah, but you lost your son. Yeah, but, you know. Okay. I had to go to Crime Con and promote my book. Okay. Huh? Okay. I'd fucking make her cry. Difficult, though. It's difficult to make sociopaths cry. Believe me. I don't know if she'd cry. I don't think she cried at all, actually. When she found out that her son was brutally murdered, I don't think she cried at all. No. Nope. Not at all. Nope. Not at all. But there you go. Oh dear, oh dear. All right, let's move on. Talk about that forever. But it's, wow. It's quite shocking, actually.
Today we're unboxing Charmin.
No, love. Oh no, not this again. Well, this is a theme of this channel, isn't it? Welcome, Edie Love. There we go, love. All right, moving on. That is the theme. The theme of our channel, love. We're going to move on. Annie Elise on my electric licorice. A little bit more with her. A little bit more with her. Right. A leash on my electric licorice, baby. Let's go. Here we go.
Make it seem like 2 attackers were involved in this crime, not just 1. He claimed that the use of multiple weapons, different kinds of force, and the timeline inside the house, that it could signal at least 2 suspects. He said that it would have been difficult for a single person to pull all of this off in the window that the investigators believe the attack occurred. And, I mean, as you can imagine, once that idea hit the public, people online took it and ran with it.
Like
I mean, on Reddit, for example,
there
are tons and tons of threads pushing alternate perpetrator ideas, with people saying things like, you know, this should have been allowed as evidence, saying that the defense should have brought up the alternate perpetrator theories. It should have been.
That's right.
If you remember, rewinding it back a little bit, the defense did try to do that, but they were shot down.
They were shot down by Judge Hippler, who was completely biased and was working for the prosecution, and again, Ann Taylor and her defense team, they should have done this probably a year, right? Maybe 8 months before. They should have tried to get him removed from the case because he was clearly showing bias in his very, in the early orders that he was putting out. He was clearly showing bias towards against the defense and for the prosecution. But Ann Taylor, being the fucking inbred cunt that she is, she never tried to bother to get rid of this guy. And every order that came out after that mostly favored the prosecution and went against her and Brian Kohlberger, including the alternate perpetrator fucking order. Yes, you're correct, Annie Elise. Yeah, that's because Judge Hippler was not a real judge. He hadn't, the judge, again, we know this, he was working for the prosecution. He did not want the discovery to actually unfold. He did not want the truth in the case. He wanted it over as soon as possible. He knew that Idaho could not handle this case. He could not handle this case. Okay, he's a fucking vampire. Judge Vampire. He's the vampire, right? This is the character who should have a fucking silver stake in his heart buried in the fucking root cellar. Okay, yeah, along with Bill Thompson. He was always working for the prosecution, so that's not a big shock.
That all happened very shortly before Brian Kohlberger took his plea deal. But now that we know that they actually had experts that were prepared to testify on this to try to prove it, everyone is talking about it. And all of that gets even messier with
her. She must edit herself every 5 seconds that I watch her video. There's always a fucking edit. Like every 5 seconds, she says a statement, and then there's an edit. And then there's another sentence, and there's an edit.
With no full trial. Well, you know, a trial where these questions could have been hashed out in front of a jury, people could get more information, because now a lot of this is still being argued in filings, online, in public forums, in these public settings where people are just like, you know, duking it out. I mean, it's pretty wild in the streets right now online when it comes to this case, because so many people believe not only that there's this...
Oh, wait. This is... Look, she's Annie from the block, right? I'm going to call her Annie Elise from the block. Just like Jenny from the block, you know, like Jennifer Lopez. Jenny from the block. She is Annie Elise from the block.
There's a second perpetrator, but that Brian is innocent, which then is he not even one of the 2 perpetrators? Why would he have taken a plea deal? How does that make sense? I don't know. I could talk for hours about that, but let's move on.
I doubt it.
Now that we've walked through the injuries and some of the unusual patterns in this case, I want to talk about the one question that everybody is still asking. Why did this happen? What was the motive?
What's the motive?
And the frustrating part,
what is it?
The motive in this case is still officially unknown, and we may
What is it, Annie?
That's the truth. Prosecutors have said over and over that investigators never found a clear reason. No documented relationship between Bryan Kohberger and the victim. No personal connection. Nothing that definitively explains.
And what does that tell you, Annie Elise?
Targeted. Bryan Kohberger's plea hearing, the Latah County prosecutor, Bill Thompson, flat out said there was no evidence of a sexual component. No evidence of a sexual assault, an attempted sexual assault, nothing tied to these murders. And yet, the idea of a sexual motive, it just keeps coming back. Some of that also comes from the families themselves. Kaylee's dad has publicly said that he believes that there was a sexual angle here. He talked about information he says, too, that he was told by people close to the investigation, including claims that Bryan Kohberger had what he described as, quote, weird porn fetishes, with terms like drunk, passed out, gagging girls. And we saw some of this come out when...
Annie, you've been there. Annie, you've been there.
Unsealed, where about, having sex with girls.
Hey, Annie, listen. I know you've been there. It's all right. You gagged on a few cocks before. All right. I am Stanley. Hey, I know it's hard to understand, but, look, I know Annie. I know her, okay? She gagged on a few cocks before. Let me just say, I love you. I love you, Annie. I love you. But listen, you're not gonna pull the wool over my eyes, okay? You gagged on a few cocks passed out, okay? Well, I am the greatest ever, all right? And I do have the #1 radio station up here in the Spirit Realm. Spirit Realm Radio 1. Don't you fucking forget it either, you fucking cocksuckers. Hey, Annie, I know. It's a hard life. It's a hard knock life, Annie. Okay. It's a hard knock life, Annie, when you're gagging on cocks in your sleep. I am Stanley, the greatest of all time. All right. Hey, Mom. I don't want to fight anymore. Stanley! Mom, I didn't touch your dolls. I didn't touch your porcelain dolls, Mom. I promise. Stanley! Oh, God. And I know, no, I'm sorry. And I know there's been talk about, fantasies and looking up people choking on fucking cocks in their sleep. Well, that happened to me, before I met my fiance. No. Oh my God. Hey, how do you tolerate this shit? Hey, how do you do it? I don't know how you fucking do it. Hey, you know how I used to do it? I used to feed people to alligators, actually. Okay. I'll suck your cock if you get me a mall deal. Oh. Hey, this is Regina Holler. Stanley's crazy. He asked me to make cappuccinos for him every day. And I give him a cappuccino, and he throws it at my fucking head. And he says, Regina, you don't know how to fucking make coffee at all. Get out of here. Guys, I don't know what to do with him. He says he'd make me a mall whore. I don't know what that means. Oh, my God. You fell for that, didn't you? Regina's not real, guys. She's not real. I'm sorry. I didn't get a notification. I'm watching on replay. Oh, isn't that fucking nice? I'm so glad you're watching on replay. Okay. Hey, how about this? How about go fucking, take your replay, okay, and shove it up your fucking ass. Okay, alright. I am Stanley, and I don't care. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, look, it's Eva Mendes. Hi, Eva Mendes. How are you? Hey, look, guys, it's Eva Mendes. All right. You know what Eva Mendes looks like, right? Hey, let's check out Eva Mendes real quick. Just say it. Just for comparison's sake. I have to do this. I'm sorry, my God. Sorry, my gov. Sorry, my loves. I have to do this, just in case we forgot what Eva Mendes. No, shut your fucking mouth. Just in case we forgot what Eva Mendes looks like. This is what Eva Mendes looks like. Yes. Wait a minute. Hey. Hi, Eva. Wait a minute. Wait. Where are you? Wait. Ah! Hey, Eva. How you doing? Let me scroll. All right. Too much spit in the camera. What is she wearing? Is she wearing like a fucking jersey or something? She's wearing some sort of like fucking jersey or something. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I think she wants to be a Colombian drug lord whore's wife or something. I think that's the kind of look I'm getting. I want to be a Colombian drug lord whore's wife. I think that's what that's kind of the look we're going for with the tiger skin background here. I want to be a Colombian drug lord's whore's wife. Ah! Yeah, Timu. Timu. Can I find something like that on Timu? I don't know. $5. But the shipping is really going to cost me. The shipping is going to cost me. I don't know. How much does it cost to get a Colombian fucking whore shipped to me? I don't know.
Hey, S.A. Hey, S.A. Don't you fucking pull my chain, S.A. Well, I like you. Hey, Dame. Well, that's why you're Dame. That's why we're getting married, Celestine and White Rabbit. Hey, we can all get married. It's all right. We all get married. S.A. Hey, just don't chainsaw me in the bathroom, okay? Hey, just don't chainsaw me in the bathroom. That's all right. Don't chainsaw me in the bathroom. That's all.
Speaking of Scarface. All right, quick break, guys. Speaking of White Rabbit. Oh, my God. Hey, where's Mrs. John? Where's Ellie? Where's Mrs. John? Where's everybody? I wanna get into my 100-year fucking Butterface battle for her. I can't do it. That's right. Oh, hell no. Oh, you cook for me, baby. Baby, you cook for me, I'll cook for you. Oh, my God, you cook for me? I'll suck your toes, baby. You make me a fucking, a nice omelet for breakfast. I'll suck your toes, baby. All right. Where's Mrs. John? Is she dead? Don't take. Hey, Mrs. John's not dead, is she? I mean, I know. Hey, I know we got some. She didn't just pass. She didn't pass out somewhere in the creek, did she? Well, there she goes again, Mrs. John. Okay. All right. Back to normal. Focus. All right. It is still the early show, isn't it? All right. Oh my God. All right. Oh dear. All right. Carry on a little bit more with this. Not too much longer to go with her. Thank God.
Parent, putting consent, things like that. And Steve has said that he connects that to what he believes he sees in the crime scene and the injury patterns. And he has been very open to about disagreeing with how prosecutors have framed the motive in this case.
Well, he's an idiot.
Now, that is his interpretation based on what he says and what he was told.
Because he's an idiot.
And it also does directly conflict with the prosecutor's public statements. So it's something that people will hear, they will sit with, but it's also not something that has ever been backed up with evidence in court. Now, another place that this idea has surfaced is in recent media coverage since all of this new information has come out. There was recently a forensic analyst that said that this case could be interpreted as having a, quote, sexual dimension before fear then took over.
Oh,
that maybe Kohberger went in there having some kind of sexual motive, running on adrenaline, but then when the situation wasn't what he expected, he went into adrenaline overdrive or something like that.
Adrenaline overdrive.
That's how everything transpired.
Sure, that's a technical term.
No, either Maddie or Kaylee are believed to be the original target.
No.
So the question becomes, did he go into that room?
Kaylee was never the target. Well, I should back up. I'm not going to go there yet.
That sexual motive, but then see that there was another girl there, perhaps Kaylee, that he didn't expect to be there.
And then he proceeded to just pummel the shit out of her. Sure.
And that's when he got furious and enraged and decided to kill them because, she was in his way of his plan. That's what a lot of the debate and the conversation is centered around when it comes to the motive theory. But regardless, this forensic analyst's point wasn't that this was the proven motive. It was more that based on certain behaviors and certain parts of the evidence, he believes a sexual motive is one of the several possibilities. Something that just can't be completely ruled out when trying to understand.
There is no sexual motive. Why? I'll tell you why there's no sexual motive whatsoever. Because, number one, Brian Kohlberger doesn't know them at all. You cannot have a sexual motive of people that you don't even know. Okay? I'm just saying. You can't. There's no sexual motive. Annie, it's a hard knock life. Look. There's no sexual component. The only way you could say there's a sexual component to this crime is if Mr. Kohlberger somehow knew one of these victims in some way, shape, or form, but he does not. In fact, as far as we know, there's no awareness of them. There's no awareness of them. So how can you be sexually, how can there be a sexual motive if Mr. Kohlberger is not even aware of these 4 people? Or 3, unless he was gay. I don't think he was fucking Ethan, right? Or wanting to screw him. So, you again, what is the overall point of this? The overall point of this is it should have went to trial. That's the point. Okay? That is the overall point here. It should have went to trial. Because through the trial, you and I would have seen that there was there can be no establishment of a sexual motive in the crime. Because Bill Thompson has no evidence to suggest or say that Mr. Kohlberger knew about any of these victims. He was not aware of any of these victims. He was never in the house before. There's no sexual motive. Thompson knows that he could never establish that. Again, I keep going back to this. Ann Taylor should have been fired from this case a long time ago. She had no idea how she was going to defend him. Okay? The evidence was absolutely weak. Any good defense attorney is going to tell you this was a weak case to begin with. But for some reason, Ann Taylor, again, I hope she surrendered her law license, but she didn't at this point. I don't think she did, but she should, because she's not a real defense attorney. Okay? There's no sexual motive. Not at all. Look, I may have the hottest women, okay? I may have the hottest nude chicks on my phone. I may have that. But here's what I don't have. I don't have the 4. I don't have 3 of the girls in hot fucking undressing that I'm fantasizing over constantly. They didn't find anything like that. You cannot say there's a sexual component to this crime because Brian Kohlberger doesn't know any of these people. It's ridiculous.
What caused Brian Kohlberger to attack these 4 victims?
You're an idiot.
Also directly feeds into why motive in this case has become...
Once again, you notice how she edits her sound bites every 5 seconds?
Such a huge part of the conversation. The why. And honestly, the fact that so many different angles keep getting...
Where'd you get that? Hey, Eva, where'd you get that tattoo?
Okay. Floated, it tells you exactly why people are still digging near.
This is Jenny from the block.
They want to know.
She's been around the block. All right.
There never was a trial to get these answers. And now...
Look at that tattoo. Oh! Hey.
This next part, I think that we have mentioned before on Headline Highlights a little bit about this, but it's been getting a lot more serious recently. But the lawsuits that the victims' families have now filed and who they're pointing the finger at does start to shed some light. Because at this point, this isn't just about Brian Kohlberger.
It's not shedding light
Anymore. This is about whether there were missed warning signs and
Again, this person is going to fail.
Around him failed in a way that ultimately had deadly consequences. The family of some of
absolutely wrong.
The victims have now filed a civil lawsuit against WSU,
yep.
the school that Kohlberger was attending as a criminology student for his PhD.
There you go. Good for you.
Murders. And the core argument that they're making is that the university knew, or should have known, that Brian was exhibiting very troubling behavior, but that they didn't do
troubling behavior. However, you can call it whatever you want. You can call it troubling behavior. You can call it whatever you want. The problem, and we said this at the very beginning of this live, it didn't reach the level of criminality. Nobody went and got a restraining order against Mr. Kohlberger. None of the lesbian he-she's felt that threatened, where they had to make a police report to Pullman, Washington Police Department, okay? Right, Annie? Elise on my electric licorice?
Do enough about it. According to the lawsuit, there were
thoroughly destroying her.
Complaints, concerns raised by faculty, reports made that Kohlberger was making people uncomfortable, especially women, a lot of different things.
Being uncomfortable is not the same as being a criminal.
So the families...
And I already explained why that was, because these lesbian/he-she's, they banded together and they got a lesbian professor on their side. And it became an echo chamber, okay? That's all it was. It became a knitting circle. That's what happened. None of these people, including the professor, okay, ever thought it was that dangerous where we had to go to the police department and make a criminal complaint against Mr. Brian Kohlberger.
Please argue that
that is the nuts. That is the nuts and bolts.
These weren't isolated incidents, and that there were plenty of opportunities.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Were dismissed. They're essentially saying that if concerns had been taken more seriously, escalated properly, or addressed earlier, that there's a chance that this tragedy could have been prevented.
Absolutely wrong and false.
That is a very heavy...
The bulbous potato that we listened to, Anjanette Levy, already said that why that's ridiculous.
The accusation, but one that many people agree with.
You wanted the best, you got the best.
Washington State University, where convicted murderer Brian Kohlberger attended college, is now facing litigation of its own from the families of the Idaho students who were brutally killed at the hands of Kohlberger. The murder victims, 21-year-olds Kaylee Gonzalez and Madison Mogan, as well as 20-year-old Xana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin's families, are all suing Washington State for gross negligence and wrongful death in a lawsuit made public January 7th.
How much? Now, you got to include the price tag here.
In a complaint obtained by multiple outlets.
How much? See, you notice how they're not including the price tag here?
The families accused WSU of violating Title IX, the federal law that prohibits sex-based discrimination at public universities.
Okay, that's irrelevant, but notice what they're failing to show you? What is the price tag?
saying the school and faculty remained, quote, idle in the face of known extreme and repeated instances of discrimination, sexual harassment, and stalking by Kohberger occurring.
This is all nonsense. Nonsense. You cannot prove that. Why? Because nobody made a criminal complaint against him.
In its educational program.
Right. So it becomes all he said, she said. It becomes all he, she said. It becomes the he, she.
Who was a PhD
Paul Stanley.
And a teaching assistant in the school's Department of Criminal Justice and Criminology before the murders, had, quote, developed a reputation for discriminatory, harassing, and stalking behavior. The complaint also argued...
Good luck proving that.
The school's alleged lack of action against the convicted killer, quote, ultimately culminated in Kohberger's stalking and murdering the decedent.
The lawsuit also makes it a point to state that Bryan Kohberger was studying criminology.
Oh, really? Wait, was he studying criminology?
About criminal behavior.
I thought he was studying fucking, I don't know. What was he studying, guys? I thought I didn't know he was studying criminology. I thought he was studying underwater ballet.
While allegedly displaying behavior that not only raised red flags but could potentially be considered criminal itself. The families argue that this made the situation even more concerning, not less. Now, WSU has pushed back, saying they followed policy, that they couldn't have predicted what Kohberger would have
'Tis true.
done, what he wasn't
absolutely
going to do.
Nobody filed a criminal complaint against him, right?
And that the murders were not foreseeable based on the information that they had
That's absolutely right.
At the time.
That's true.
Words, they're saying that this, yes, was a horrific crime, but not one that they could have prevented or...
That's because not even the lesbian professor felt that he was a threat that she needed to go to the police.
One that they can be...
And if anybody was going to go to the police, it should have been the lesbian professor.
Be held responsible for.
But the lesbian professor didn't. So
the families are not...
Bye-bye.
And for them,
bye-bye. Bye-bye.
It's about accountability. It's about forcing major institutions...
It's not about that. It's about how much money can we get out of this.
To take complaints.
Notice how Annie Elise in her channel doesn't put a price tag on how much that lawsuit is?
Seriously. To act...
Isn't that right, Annie?
And to prevent something like this from ever happening again. And truthfully, when you zoom out of all of it, this lawsuit fits right into the bigger theme of this case.
Which is?
Questions, pieces that never fully came out in court, and a lot of people left wondering...
I wonder why that is, Annie.
How somebody like this, Bryan Kohberger, how he was able to fly under the radar for as long as he did. And there's another thing that I want to touch on here too, because I keep seeing questions about this, and there's been a lot of back and forth from both sides on this. It's about the prison system and the media and the inside sources and all of that, and that's the prison transfer discussion. Over the past few weeks, there has been a lot of chatter online about whether Bryan Kohberger could be moved out of Idaho and then transferred to another prison in another state. And anytime you hear something like that, people immediately jump to, why, when, what does that mean?
Where that is coming from, that is coming from Chris McDonough. Potato Mouth, Chris McDonough. Me and my wife, we were just hanging around a crime scene, and I found a black glove there. That's where that shit's coming from.
So here's what we actually know about.
That's not an official source.
Okay? Right now, Bryan Kohberger is being held within the Idaho Department of Correction, and officials have publicly stated that there is no confirmed transfer in place.
Absolutely not.
That part is very important. There has been no official announcement that he is being moved, no paperwork released.
Hey, my name's Chris McDonough, and when I was hanging around the crime scene with my wife, we were on vacation. And, it was really cold. And, I saw a black backpack. I picked that up. Actually, I had some dog treats with me. And so, I don't know, I picked up the black backpack that was there at the crime scene. I put dog treats in it. And, I guess I shouldn't have done that. But then I also found a black glove right next to the black, little fucking thing there. And, they said, Chris, what are you doing? I said, well, I got evidence for you. And they said, well, okay, Chris, please go away and take your fucking ugly wife with you. We'll give you a medal. Just go away. Okay.
Nothing.
And then okay, after they gave me a medal. And then I went to Hawaii. And then I went to Hawaii with my wife.
Showing a transfer.
Chris McDonough. Oh my God. You wonder why our country's fucked up. All right. Yeah, my name's Chris McDonough. Sometimes I eat corn on the cob, and sometimes when I'm eating corn on the cob, I like to wander off my property and wander into just random crime scenes that nobody asked me to wander into. But then I find like all kinds of shit. I found I found a Chevy Blazer. I found I don't know. I found like little toothpicks and stuff like that. Look, I found toothpicks. I thought, oh my God, I found a toothpick. This must have been one of the toothpicks that the murderer must have been using to pick his teeth. Probably because. Good grief. Yeah, my name's Chris McDonough, and I did find that black glove. I don't know how long it's been sitting out there, but I feel like it was very important. I gave it to the Moscow police, and they said, "Oh, thanks, Chris." They pat me on the head, they gave me a donut, and then they said, "Go back to writing a book and go back to your podcast." Okay.
These people are all fucking disgusting to me. I am Stanley, okay? I have 200 years experience on these fucking retards.
Actually, he does. Anyway, quick break. Now, wait a minute. This is Sergeant Zappa. I'm going to show you another Moscow police training video with this. Here we go. Just give me 1 second. I know you love me. I don't know, I get fan mail. My name's Sergeant Zappa. I don't know why I get fan mail. I don't know. It's nice. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's so dangerous. He's so dangerous. We didn't even file a criminal complaint against him. Okay. All right. Hey, tell me another one. All righty. Hey, goodbye. Bye-bye, Stacy. Bye-bye, Stacy, and you fucking sociopath. Oh my God. All right. Hey, this is just the early show. Love. This is just the early.
My priorities?
Hey.
Kids, easy. Kids. Well, I gotta say me. All right, I have to say me. So yes, myself is I am more of a priority to myself.
It's Annie Elise. Wait a minute. Wait, hang on now. All right. Hey, this is just the early show, love. I hope you like this. I hope you like it. I think we're pretty coherent. And, well, as much as we can be. Coherent. And, oh, my God. All right. Here we go. I love you. Now listen. The Late Show is going to include a Moscow police training video. I hope you're ready for that because Moscow is very proud, very, very proud. Moscow police is very proud of this training video that I'm going to show you coming up on The Late Show. All right. But you know who I am. I'm Sergeant Zappa. I'm Sergeant Zappa. And well, in honor of Sergeant, because now I'm starting to get fucking fan mail. I don't know. But anyway, that's all right. I love it. I kind of like the fan mail, actually. I get all kinds of stuff. People send me all kinds of shit. It's weird. It's very strange. I get like brass knuckles in the mail and shit like that. Anyway, brass knuckles. And, when I'm punching somebody in the face, right, and everybody's confused about what's making marks on the face, well, guess what? It's called brass knuckles. Yeah, because when I have a pair of brass knuckles on and I'm punching you in the fucking face, it's going to leave marks. Yeah, it's going to leave marks. Like stratification marks. See, when I'm punching you in the face, okay, with brass knuckles, it's going to leave those types of marks on your face. Just saying, think about that. Not very hard to get either. Brass knuckles are not very hard to get. Anyway, this will conclude our early show. I hope you like this. My loves, I'm so thankful that you are here, Dame Celestine, a White Rabbit. Yeah. Edie, thank you for being here, love. I hope you like this ending, though. We'll pick it up later with a late show, and this will probably be the last live I do for the next, 6 fucking years. Yeah, pretty much. But I hope you like this. Hope you like this. Yeah, well, I am Sergeant Zappa, so, yeah. And I'm gonna dedicate this one. I'm dedicating this song to, let's see, who should I dedicate this to? I'm gonna dedicate this one to, boy, I could dedicate this to a lot of people. But I'm going to dedicate this song to Hunter Johnson. And I'm going to dedicate this song to, let's see, who should I dedicate to? Jack Decor. These two I'm going to dedicate it to. But specifically Hunter Johnson. There's also a little Dylan Mortensen in this song. Okay. So I hope you like this. Here we go.
I'll be proud to say I'm the as fast. My teeth is shiny. I tell all the girls they can kiss my hiney. American dream. I do not think I'm too extreme, but I'm a handsome son of a bitch. I'm gonna get a good job and be real rich. Women's liberation came creeping all across.
No, wait a minute. I'm dedicating this to Washington State University lesbian he-she's who created a knitting circle and never went to the police with any of their complaints. Okay, bye, $400 million lawsuit.